or not yet?
Yeah, right now it's 0.
Nico, you clicked the recording by accident. You should not be recording yet. See the. All right. Okay. Are we officially recording?
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending this live webinar. My name is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. I have my guest speaker, Mike Newell. Let me briefly introduce him first before he speak. And of course, I have my technical assistant, Nika, to help me run this live webinar because it's been a while since I've done this. So we need a lot of refreshers. So I really missed our monthly live events at the local Hyatt House in Santa Clara. So given with this pandemic situation. So I really miss interacting with all my members in my organization. So I really, but so hopefully gradually when this pandemic situation is subside, we could start socializing and doing the monthly live events so we could do some interactions. But meanwhile, the best way we can communicate is by live webinars, FaceTime, and phone calls, those kind of things, better than nothing. So this is a very, very challenging times. But from my perspective, I know this from the economic and financial point of view, just a lot of challenging things with the coronavirus situation, and we certainly hope that things are going to get better because there's so many people hurting out there. So we all gonna stay together and just hopefully things will get better. So in terms of real estate is concerned, I mean, I take the approach of it's never wrong time to buy, and I know there's a lot of information out there about all these doom and gloom scenarios, but once you hear it, once you finish hearing this presentation, you can feel a lot better because it's not all doom and gloom. And if you follow our investment philosophy throughout the next 40 minutes, you can be very excited and very, very motivated as I am. So with that said, we have a network partner. His name is Mike Newell from Southwest Florida, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Lehigh Acres and LaBelle market. So I'm really excited to bring him on board. We have some tremendous strategies, and until you hear what we have to say, just have an open mind because the things you're going to hear, you're going to be very, very surprised about it. So without further ado, I'm going to have Mike Newell to do the presentation on Southwest Florida cash flow investment opportunities. So Mike, go ahead and take it away and do your thing.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Yee, and thank you for having me on your live event here. So if you guys are looking at the screen, you see the beautiful house there that we build. It's a pretty standard model. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. The interior living square feet of this house is just under 1,400. It's like 1,390. And the total square footage is just below 2,000. It's right at 1,950. It has your pretty typical standard features, but it also has some upgrades too. I mean, if you're looking at the kitchen, you can see we use some very nice cabinetry. It's got the soft closed drawers. It's solid wood, very modern style. We've got the undermount sink. We've got all the new fixtures in the way of plumbing fixtures and recessed can lighting. All the houses come with a stainless steel appliance package. The flooring that we use is LVP. It's luxury vinyl plank. It's 4 mils thick and it's virtually indestructible. I mean, the stuff is tough. It's real good stuff for tenants. We use the better baseboards, 5 1/4 baseboards. We do knockdown on all the walls. We use vaulted ceilings. And to get into some of the technical construction features, I don't know how versed you guys are in the construction world, but I'm going to rattle off some things to you and try to explain them the best way that I can. We are the builder. We hold the general contractor's license, which is why our prices, which we'll get into in a little bit, are so unbelievable. We control all of our own subs. We do not sub out our building, so to speak. So that's why we're able to keep our prices so low. But technical things in this house, we'll start with the foundation. The foundation in this house is poured with 3,000 PSI concrete, where typical builders will usually use 2,500. In addition to this upgraded per square inch concrete that we use, we also include fiber mesh and steel wire in the entire foundation. So we really go overboard. And the reason why we do this is because in South Florida, in markets in Texas, areas like that, you'll see settling. So you have to accommodate for those variables, because settling obviously will hurt a concrete foundation and eventually hurt the walls. So we really go above and beyond when we put our concrete down. The dirt we use, we source from a local pit. It's shell rock, so it's not even #1 fill. It's actually road base. The same stuff the Department of Transportation uses for their roads is the stuff we build our houses on. I mean, this is really solid stuff, unbelievably hard when it dries. So we build on a very, very solid foundation. So going up through the foundation and into the walls, we use a CBS block. None of our houses are wood frame. They're all concrete block. Very solid homes. They're rated for 186 mile-an-hour winds, which is a very, very high rating, same as Miami-Dade code. We have hurricane impact glass windows. All of the windows are hurricane impact glass. So you do not have to fiddle with shutters or anything like that. Your tenants will not have to do any of that. You're ready to go out of the gate. No shutters. The walls are actually 9'4", which makes the house feel very, very tall. A typical wall is 8 foot, but we go the extra 2 courses of block just to give the house a very a stately feeling. When you walk in, the ceilings are very tall, and it makes a 1,300 square foot house feel exponentially larger because of this extra volume that we add to the ceilings. If we move up from the block to the truss package, we double strap all of our trusses. The roof system is comp shingle. We use a really good upgraded GAF shingle, very high rated, 30-year warranty. And just basics. I'm giving you just basics, but all these things add up to a very high quality product in the end. Nika, if you could just go to the next slide down, please. One more. So this is the area that we're primarily building in. LaBelle, Lehigh Acres, and we're also in Port Charlotte, which is, if you see there in that triangle, the left side of LaBelle. So the reason why we're in LaBelle is because we knew about some things that were happening prior to them happening. There's a big international airport. Not what you're thinking. It's not people traveling or anything of that nature. It's all the cargo and perishable items from South America coming into the state of Florida and being distributed throughout the country. All of that traffic right now goes into Miami International, and Miami International Airport is very, very overcrowded. It's not conducive to logistics for trucking. It's very, very, very hard to get in and out of Miami. So what the state decided to do, and large companies decided to do, was move this hub closer to the center of the state, where there's a lot of main veins, I-75, State Road 27, and the crossways of Alligator Alley. All three of those roads are very big distribution lines for the state and for the country, for that matter. So all of this perishable traffic is going to be rerouted right into Clewiston, Florida, which is about 15 minutes outside of LaBelle, where there is a very extreme shortage of housing at the moment, and is going to be exponentially shorter once this airport does come in. So we're looking forward to that. We're filling the need now, sort of. We can't build enough houses to get them what they need, and it's going to 10x once the airport comes in. So we're really excited about that. The Lehigh Acres area is a very good, strong rental market. We're building there. The best thing about the Lehigh Acres market is you get a lot of nurses, you get a lot of like healthcare workers. A lot of those tenants have very very solid incomes and make for great tenant performance. The Port Charlotte area is a very good market as well. They're building a big resort that's going to create upwards of 600 jobs. There's a very large population there already. The rental rates are consistently high across the board. I mean, for a home that you just saw on the first slide, you would get right around $1,600 a month. So it's a pretty strong and desirable area to live. Nika, can you go to the next slide? So this was the airport that I was talking about for the LaBelle area. They've broken ground on this already. It's already in process. If you want to Google it, it's called the Everglades International Airport. Some articles will claim upwards of 2,000 jobs. Some say 4,000 jobs. It's kind of open to interpretation. I mean, if you think about it, you're going to have very, very large companies coming into this area: Amazon, UPS, FedEx, DHL, a lot of the companies that do produce from South America. We're talking of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of square feet of refrigerated industrial space is needed for this type of operation. So you can imagine the amount of jobs it's going to create. I've heard a lot of different numbers. I prefer to stay on the safe side and say there's going to be an extra 2,000 jobs. Well, an extra 2,000 jobs in the current state of the housing situation means that we need at least another 2,500 houses. There's just simply not enough houses. We're building these things and we're getting 15 to 20 rental applications per build. It's just unbelievable the amount of demand we're getting over here. So very big opportunity in the LaBelle area. Very excited about that. And to top it all off, we own quite a bit of lots in that area. We were anticipating this happening, so we bought up a lot of the land. So we're going to have a perfect storm, so to speak. Plenty of land. We're able to build a quality product at a very affordable price, and we have a abundance of tenant applications to filter through and cherry pick the best ones for our clients, people that buy the homes with us. Could you go to the next slide, Nika? So this is another rendering of one of the models we do. It's called the Amelia model. This house is a little larger. It's 2,060 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. This house, we get around $1,450 per month. This has all the same features as the one I was telling you about before. All of our homes basically have the same exact interior and exterior features: the high density concrete, the granite countertops, the LVP flooring, the tile. We actually do a very nice bathroom as well. The bathrooms are LVP flooring. They're the same as the kitchen. They're granite countertops with undermount sinks, and they're walk-in showers. And we do a very nice touch with the walk-in showers. We put recessed can lighting inside of the walk-in showers, and we also have rain shower heads, which is a very big selling feature, and nobody's doing it. Everybody that does a rental property typically puts in the plastic tub surrounds and the plastic shower surrounds, the same things you put in mobile homes. We do not do that. We do a very nice bathroom, very similar to our kitchens, very, very upgraded, so to speak. Next slide, Mika. This bottom right-hand corner, you can see, and the top right as well, is the Laurel model. So this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It does not have a garage. There is a lot of demand for this house, simply because it has more bedrooms. We chose this model to test it out to see if people, we noticed a lot of people were taking their garages and they were putting up partition walls and using them as a 4th bedroom. So we decided to X the garage and put a 4th bedroom just to see how it performed. And this is the perfect rental property. It's set up very well for a rental situation for multi-family, not in the sense, or multi-generation is probably the better term. The families that are around here, they have grandma and grandpa living with them, so they'll take one side of the house and then the parents and the kids on the other side of the house. We just rented for this first time today, actually, for $1,400 a month. We rented this house. It's 1,636 square feet total, with a 1,596 square feet living space. 4 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, a very large washer and dryer utility room. Like I said, this is the perfect rental property. It just has so much usable space for the tenants. The guy that came in and rented this house, just to give you an idea of the type of tenant that's around here and the type of tenant quality, he is a superintendent for a land development company over in Fort Myers, so he commutes 20 minutes a day to work. He makes about $1,200 gross per week. He has a wife, and she is a teacher. She is currently out of work because of the situation with the coronavirus, but when she is at work, she's making close to $650 per week. They have 1 small child, and they each have credit scores in the mid 600s. Very, very solid tenants. I don't expect any problems from them. We have a lot of tenants just like them. Wonderful, wonderful performance. Unbelievable tenants. They take very good care of the properties. When you give these folks a house this nice with all of the features that I mentioned, they don't want to leave. This is a perfect situation for them. They love this style, this new modern style house with all the fresh new ideas of the new modern building era. So very wonderful situation. If you could just next slide, Nika, please. Thanks. So here's the numbers. So this is kind of the important stuff here. The models, if you see the top one there, the Langdon model, that was the first slide that I showed you. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. That house we can give to you for $175,000, which is an unbelievable price. This house sells to end users because I also sell to the end user market as well. I sell this house for $209,000. If you rent this house, you can get $1,450 a month. The down payment obviously is contingent upon the various things. We can work that out later on. The debt service, roughly per month, there are the numbers you see there, $1,044.57. Yet cash flows at $405, giving an annual return of 25.7. Seewing, you want to jump in here and kind of go over how these numbers work in comparison to what you're seeing out there in the market? I mean, how do you feel about these numbers?
Oh, I tell you, I have worked the Florida market for many, many years. Okay, for like 20 years, and I know Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Lehigh Acres, and now LaBelle, this neck of the woods. This price you just saw, you're not giving this marketplace that we're presenting, or I think is one of the top 3 real estate market in Florida. So among the top 10 in Florida, it just goes to show you. And if you look at single family homes, you know, brand new, especially in a fast growing path of growth area with this square footage, you're not going to find this kind of prices with the rental rates here. You're not going to find it in Central Florida for sure. You know, you're not going to find it in, you know, in Southeast Miami area for sure. You're not going to find Central Florida, as I said, not even in the northeastern Port Florida, Jacksonville Metro, or in the in the Gulf Coast area, in, you know, Pensacola, in those areas. Nothing compare like this. It's just the numbers, and I've been teaching my members about, you know, how to analyze a particular property with the capitalization rate and cash on cash returns and total ROIs and the 1% rule, you know, 1% multiplied by the purchase price. I mean, this is a perfect storm, like Mike says right here. So this is an amazing number. This is a below market value. And Mike will also tell you that because you're part of my network, you're getting a substantial discount on the pricing, just like Mike alluded to. So you can have a walk-in equity pretty substantial. So because you know, we have a working relationship, because you guys are, as a member, as part of my network, you're getting a tremendous below market discount, where if you were a retail buyer, like Mike said, in a multiple listing service, you will pay a lot more. So, you know,
Yeah.
and what else can I say? I mean, okay, 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 Mike, you go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. These are unbelievable prices. So if you jump down to the Laurel model, which is the model I was just telling you guys about, I just rented this house today for $1,400 a month. So just, you know, mark off that $1,350. The $1,400 is the new standard for this home, and I will be trying to bump the Langdon model up to the $1,500 in the next few weeks. But for now, we have a proven track record for the Laurel. For getting tenants in. I'll keep you posted on the tenant performance. It should be good, just like the rest of them, but $1,400 a month is the new norm for the Laurel model. That home I sell on the open market, I sell it for $194,900. The best appraisal we've had so far is $190,000. I'm selling them to the end user market at $190,000. Again, you know, down payment kind of varies based on creditworthiness and things of that nature. Debt service $947, cash flow of $375, and an annual return of 22.1%. You know, obviously those percentages are based off of the current down payment and the cash flow. The cash flow in this case goes up from $1,350 to $1,400. If you go to the next slide, please, Nika.
Mike, before you discuss any further, Mike, let me say something. Of course, those are regular financing at 25% down payment, regular financing under your name with a conventional loan, which I have the loan agent. My primary loan agent is, many of you know, Richard Advani from Wells Fargo, who has done many investment loans for my network. And also, those are regular financing. You can do 15, 20, 25% down payment on this type of properties financing. So furthermore, I also are educating my members about using the self-directed IRAs to purchase investment property. And in this particular case, all you need around 50% down payment on your self-directed IRA, and then I will have my non-recourse lender will provide the other 50% non-recourse loan to leverage your property. So one quick example, on the $165,000 property, just do the math. 50% down of 165 is approximately 87, maybe let's say 90K. So all you need is $90,000 on a self-directed IRA, and you can purchase this $165,000 property in the name of your IRA. Your IRA is buying the property. So many of you on the call already, I've been working with you. This is your plan. So I will consult with you on it. So it's a tremendous way to leverage this type of investment property with a partial down payment of the IRA, and then 50% down and 50% with a non-recourse loan. So just so you know, I don't want to get into too much detail. I want to keep this presentation high level. So, right. So, okay, Mike, proceed.
Before you guys move on, we do have a question that I think would be relevant before we move forward. Someone is asking, what is debt servicing?
That would be mortgage, taxes, and insurance.
And property management fee.
Oh, and property. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, the gross rent, the gross rent monthly minus monthly property taxes, monthly insurance, and 8% property management fee. So we have a great discount as well. And then, yeah, so gross rent minus the debt service equal monthly net cash flow. So, okay. All right. Hope that helps.
So next, the next slide here is an appraisal for the Langdon model. As you can see, it's 207. This is an older one. They're actually up at 209 now. We recently had one at 209. If you go to the next slide, Nika. And then we have the Laurel model at 190. That's a very good price. We recently had a cash sale at the full ask of 194.9. So the next appraisals for the Laurel will be up in the 193 to 194 range based on that comp that we just sold. Next slide, Nika, please. Okay, so this kind of pertains to the question that was asked a minute ago. This is a total breakdown. If we were to take it line by line, starting at the top, the sale price of 165, a down payment assuming 25% at 41,250. Initial repair costs, that should be zero. I don't know why that's not zero. This is a brand new home. This home comes with a warranty. I'll tell you guys about that in a minute. There is no initial repair costs, obviously, because of that fact. Next line down would be the closing costs, and then the loan amount totals 123,750, assumed interest rate at 4.1%. So that gives you a mortgage payment of just under $600. If you could go to the next one, Nika. So total mortgage payment plus your taxes plus your insurance, which is that third line down, 6,250, and a management fee of 8%. That's us taking care of your property and your tenants and making sure they're paying on time and making sure they're taking care of your property. There's no HOA fee. You're not paying any utilities, and this is $60 assumed, which is accurate per month for lawn service. It's better to have the local guys do the lawn and pay for it yourselves, or we could try to put it on top of the rent and get it out of the tenant. Don't leave it up to the tenant because they won't do it in most cases, and it just grows and grows, and then they'll do it 4 weeks later, and it just makes for an ugly neighborhood. Better to take care of it as the landlord. Estimated vacancy 5%. It's pretty standard. Next slide down. So your total fixed expenses brings you to $974.85 with a cash flow of $375.15 per month. Now that goes up because, like I told you, we were using a $1,350, but the new norm for this house is $1,400. So that cash flow is going to go up per month. Annual appreciation, we're talking about the actual value of the home now. Years held at 15. Your accumulated cash flow over 15 is $55,376. Your appreciation assumed at 2.77% over 15 years is $83,000, which could be accurate. It could be more based on the influx of population that this area is going to see. I would not doubt that these homes are upwards of 225, 230 in the next 24 months. I don't doubt that. If you could go to, actually stay on this one, Nika. Annual cash on cash return of 9.29%. Annual cash on cash return of 7.62%. annual return on investment of 22.01%, and a cap rate of 6.6%. Okay, next slide, Nika. So if you were to look at the tax benefits, you would be able to depreciate over that course, 4,800. And if you needed cash reserves, you would be looking at 5233.52. Here's actually a good picture of the bathrooms that we do. This is a second bath. This is not the master bathroom that I was telling you about with the rain shower head. This is just the additional bathroom. Another picture of the kitchen. Those are a different selection of colors. You have different color granite countertops, different color flooring. There's different colors that you can choose from. You know, they all pretty much jive with one another. We use very neutral colors for all the homes. Next slide, Nika. And I threw in some pictures of the office so you guys could see it. This is our construction office and our sales center. We have a lot of tenants coming in here. You can just flip through these slides, Nika. There's 3 or 4 pictures of the office. People that are working for us, working for you, making sure your tenants are paying, building your homes. And I think that's it for the slideshow. So, Mr. Yee, you know, jump in here with me. At $160,000 for this type of product that rents for $1,400 per month, okay? Where else are you going to find this type of product?
Nowhere else in the country, my friend. I can assure you that, okay? This is not an exaggeration. This is a very good value. You buying at the phase 1, you buying at a market in an area that are, you know, really booming, and this is a path of growth. Let me tell you, I know this market very well. Like I told you, you know, personally, I bought a single family home in Cape Coral back in 2003, all right, long time ago. So I've been following this market for a very long time, and I see, you know, with the exception of the dip between 2008 and 2009, very huge dip. This market has been steadily increasing for the past 10 years. For example, 8 years ago in Cape Coral, you know, the homes were selling, single family homes were selling for like 100 grand. Now, you know, too expensive. Now is a typical Cape Coral home is like 250,000. You can't cash flow anymore. So then a few years ago, Lehigh Acres has been growing. Right now, a single family home, let's say like almost $200,000 now. So you can't really cash flow Lehigh Acres anymore. So the path of growth is going to the east. You know, to the east of Lehigh Acres is LaBelle, and you know, the LaBelle, right? You're getting a 165K, 175K new bill, you know, at 20%, 25% discount right now. So you know, so there's nowhere else. And the cap rates, all the numbers are really above the benchmark. You know, as far as in terms of cap rates and rent to value ratio and cash return, all, you know, numbers really look good. So and the mortgage rate, I mean, isn't it amazing? We are at a historical low mortgage rate, given what's going on with the economy. So it'll give you much better cash flow. So all the, you know, all the metrics, everything is just screams tremendous value for the future. I mean, you're getting positive cash flow and potential for appreciation. What a double bonus you get. And you're working with a builder, Mike Newell's a builder, that are in this, you know, in this position. You know, you get in early, right? You know, early bird gets the worm, and the first phase of investors buying this property, so you're gonna, you know, you could be a happy camper. You know, for the long term, you should do a buy and hold long term strategy. Okay, so live off the cash flow down the road, but you can get some great appreciation, because I clearly we see the path of growth. You know, there's Mike will tell you there's you know, there's several large hospitals here in a county. There's a Amazon distribution center. They're building commercial constructions everywhere, commercial retail, and they are booming in the entire 50-mile radius. And LaBelle, this little LaBelle itself is not very large. It only have like 6 or 7 thousand people, but it will it will accommodate a lot more people. So that's the influx of people coming in, I'm sure. So, oh wait, yeah, Mike, can you say like if people want to reserve a property? I mean, what are the earnest deposit and uh, how much is earnest deposit and all that, and how many properties you have available? I mean, I know you know you're working with several investment clubs such as my organization, so there will be probably there are more demands than there are supply of homes right now. So, what short term was in terms of inventory? How does that work?
So everything we have right now is under contract. Well, everything that we have that's been CO'd is under contract. We have a wave coming of about 31 of them. I've got to check and see how many of them are actually spoken for. I know we had a bunch of contracts come in, but we will have some in the next 30 days. We will have some houses CO'd and ready to go. The processes and logistics of this is you just get with Mr. Yee, let him know what that you would like one, or if you want to fly down and check them out, we can arrange that, or I can get videos up to Mr. Yee and he can pass them out to you guys, however you want to go through it further. After you've decided which model you want, you put your earnest money deposit of $10,000 with Carrie Damone at Tirley Title Company, and get with Richard with Wells Fargo, for your mortgage, and yeah, I mean it's pretty standard processes, Mr. Yee. You've done this quite a few times, I'm sure. So, and nothing out of the ordinary with us.
Yeah. So Mike, these properties will be ready to go within 30 days. It's not like a investor will. It's not like there's a pre-construction. You have to wait 6 months down the road before completion time. It's not like that. I mean, when people put their deposit and reservation deposit down with a contract, within few weeks, the house will receive a certificate of occupancy. Then the completion of the house, then the transaction will initiate. And so short term will be the client will close escrow and the property management will bring the tenant in. So it's pretty much it's a smooth, typical transaction. Am I correct?
Yeah, and one thing we're not worried about is selling them, which is why we just continually have new starts. We usually start about 3 per week. We'll probably bump that up to 4 per week here in the near future. So we always have a continuous supply of homes coming available. Like I said, before they're CO'd, they're usually spoken for. Some people have preference as to tenant selection. Some people just want us to fill them with tenants. We have an excellent track record. We pick very quality tenants. We really vet them. We check them out. We call their employers. We look at the overall picture. Some landlords prefer to do the tenant selection themselves, and they tell us specifically don't rent them out until I've vetted the tenants myself or looked at the data behind them, which is fine. So yeah, it's a constant supply of homes constantly coming available. Very very short term. It does not take us 6 months to build homes. We typically build them in 120 days. So if you're reserving something now, chances are you will have a home to purchase within the next 3 to 5 weeks.
So Mike, from a high level, I know some people they have this very doom and gloom thinking, very negative thinking because there's so much paralysis, so much, mass media, paint such a, challenging time, and which is understandable, right? Human nature. But with respect to your market, given the pandemic situation and social distancing and shelter at home, I know it's different market, different neighborhood have a different impact with respect to this what's going on with this very very unprecedented times. But what I hear you saying is that your market, I mean, is very, very safe. The investors should not worry about, all this kind of negative situation. So you have put your product is in a position to have the lowest amount of risk possible, given what's going on. And you feel and your price is not gonna get any lower than it is right now. In fact, it's gonna going to go high in terms of your rising prices in your neighborhood, in your market. So if people thinking, housing prices going to go down for whatever reason, they are inaccurate in their beliefs, especially in your particular market. So can you have a high level economic prediction in your neighborhood, in your market?
Sure. So there's reason for that, right? There's data behind that. Southwest Florida in general has a huge population of essential workers. Everyone was classified essential or non-essential. A lot of the restaurants went out; they weren't considered essential. They were, considered leisure. You know, cruise lines, things of that nature, obviously were considered leisure. We don't have a whole lot of that. We have a lot of construction workers. I mean, this Southwest Florida is booming. It's blowing up. Tons of construction down here. The example I gave earlier, the gentleman that rented the home for $1,400 a month with his wife and his young child, he's deemed essential. He's a superintendent for a big land development company. They're building neighborhoods all over the Naples area and the Fort Myers area, which he commutes 20 minutes a day from his new home to. He's deemed essential. He's still working. He's still making a paycheck. His wife might be out of work as a school teacher, but he's an essential person and he's still making money. There's lots of healthcare industry workers. There's lots of essential service members like fire departments, police departments, city workers, county workers, things of that nature. We have a lot of that. So all of the people that are our tenants are continually paying the rent. We did not have one deferment for any of the 27 homes that we're currently managing. We did not have one late payment. Everybody's paying the rent, which is, it's unbelievable for the state of the country at the moment. Everyone has a horror story. I don't know if you guys own properties in other parts of the country. I'm sure you're feeling it. You have more people that are working in different industries that aren't classified as essential. They're hurting right now. They're not making money. They're not able to make their bills. So, we're very fortunate to be in the area that we're in. We're sort of recession proof, if that makes any sense. The people that need to be working are working and they're able to pay their rent. So, we're doing well.
Very good to hear. Very reassuring. I'm sure my investors will feel the same way. So let's for the remaining 5 or 7 minutes we have, Nika, can you identify some questions on the chat box we might want to answer at this time? Hello?
Sorry, 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, the attendees out there, if you know how to input your questions on the chat box, please feel free to do so while Nika trying to fix this technical situation. Oh, good. Here it is. Here's one of the questions, Mike.
Yes, we have. If you guys would like us to, we absolutely can. We have our own property management company. We have an excellent track record. We do a very good job vetting your tenants, keeping your property nice and tidy. We are the builder as well, so any phone calls that come in for the first year are going to be obviously under warranty, and it's something we're going to take care of. It's not something you're going to have to worry about. And in this question, let me touch on the warranty. We have the same warranty as all of the national builders. We offer the 210, which is the gold standard of warranty. Anything in the home for 2 years, anything structural for 10 years. So you can sleep soundly at night knowing that you have a quality product that is backed by the best warranty in the country. So yes, we can manage it, and you will have very few headaches from that property.
Very good to hear. Very good to hear. Next question, Nika. What's out there? Yeah, I think we went through that, right? At the
Yes,
beginning.
it
Somebody
is.
was,
They might have come in late, but yeah, it is. It's concrete block construction, all CBS with a double bond beam. Very, very solid construction. Unbelievable tensile strength. It's a very strong structure.
okay, very good. Next question. Oh, very good question.
So yes and no. It is in South Florida, which is prone to hurricanes. But you know, if you look over the course of history, most of the hurricanes, a great percentage of them hit the East Coast. Once they make landfall, they really lose steam. A year and a half ago, actually close to 2 years now, we were hit with a hurricane that was pretty bad. It was, I think it was a Cat 3 when it landed, and it turned into a 2 over us. We were mid construction on probably 60 or 70 homes, and you know, we didn't really feel it. We had some trash around the yards, and that was about it. No broken windows, not even a lost shingle. I mean, like I said before, we build a very quality product, so it's not something that's you know, going to blow away. But yes, this is a hurricane area, but you won't feel the impact like you would if you were on the East Coast on the ocean. That's for sure.
As a matter of fact, as I understand, Mike, the monthly insurance does not even need hurricane insurance. So the monthly premium is, you know, is pretty typical, standard low rates, and your elevation of your property, the foundation, are very good. I mean, right?
Absolutely. We are rated Miami-Dade standard, Miami-Dade code for 184-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, these things are built to withstand tornadoes.
Yeah.
They're very strong structures.
Plus, LaBelle is like 40 miles inland from the Gulf Coast, from the water. So it's kind of insulated as well, right?
Very, very insulated. And like I said, once these things make landfall on the East Coast, which they predominantly do, they lose steam. You know, they're not if they land at a Cat 4, they typically hit us at a Cat 2, a Cat 1, a Category 1, which if you look at the standards on, you know, categories, that it gives wind ratios and things like that.
Very good, very reassuring. Do we have one more question? Is that, Nika? Is that all I see is 4 slides with each slide with one question. Is that the last one coming in? Okay, here we go.
Right now, we've got 27 properties that we have sold, and we are managing for investors currently.
Can you go over the details?
I didn't see that part, details for the property management. So details, we have 2 on-site property managers. We have some other properties on the East Coast. One of them handles that, and the other one handles the little bit that we do have here in LaBelle. Typically, the tenants come in to the office that's in LaBelle, and they pay their rent right there on site. They have an emergency number that they can contact should there be any you know, urgent matters that need to be taken care of right away. That is the direct line for the property manager. Most of the time, we don't have issues, you know, so urgently. I mean, these are brand new homes. We don't anticipate any real issues. I've got something to touch on actually that I should have mentioned before in the construction. We build our elevations up relatively high because of the water table here in Florida, which usually in Southwest Florida, people will not build their elevations up high, which requires them to put what's called a lift station into their septic system. All these properties are on septics. We do not do that. We build our elevations up high. They're naturally sloped systems direct to the septic tank. So you will not have any reoccurring issues with a lift station. You know, if anybody's out there that's investing in Southwest Florida, I'm sure you know about lift stations. We do not use them. A big thing for property managers and landlords alike. Big money saver there. Mr. Yee, what are the relevant questions do you think this person might want to know as it pertains to property management or the details of that
Yeah,
matter?
yeah. Other than the 8% property management fee annually, which is very good, you know, better than the typical 10%. I think what this person might be asking could be like there will be to get the tenant in initially, as you told me already. There are no additional fee in terms of marketing fee, nothing like that. Some new builder property management in other markets, they charge you like 50% of the first month rent as a marketing fee, but you guys do not do that. So that's a good situation. And the other details that this attendee might be asking about property management could be like in what situation that the property management will charge additional fee? Like for example, when there's a tenant turnover, what are the fee of getting a new tenant? Those kind of things. What are additional fees that come out of pocket?
So
I think
we do charge 50% of the first month's rent on a turnover. So we put your initial tenant in there if you want us to. We'll put them in there at no charge. We'll vet them, place them, and collect their rent. In the event that you have a turnover, we would charge a 50% of the first month's rent to place another tenant. But other than that, there are no fees related to the leasing or anything of that matter. As far as maintenance goes, like I keep reiterating, it's a brand new home. You're not going to have anything for the first year. Everything from plumbing, HVAC, electric, structural, everything is covered. Year two, basically the same thing, unless of course there's a call for, let's say they needed their septic system pumped out because there's a lot of people living in the house, something of that nature. You would pay the company that's doing the service directly. There's no middleman charge. We do not upcharge any of the services. We just get our subcontractors out there and they handle it. As it pertains to the 210 warranty, everything that is inside the house is covered under that warranty for 2 years. Everything structurally is covered for 10 years. Year 3, if there's some issues, again, we do not upcharge anything. We get the service done, we pass the bill on to the landlord, and the landlord pays the bill direct.
very good. Nika, any other questions out there?
Okay, so Orlando is, you know, I don't know on the map. It's probably about 2.5 hours, I would say. It's, you know, it's a bit north. The closest thing is Fort Myers. It's about 20 minutes west of LaBelle. It's a big city. 2018, it was Forbes' fastest growing city in the country. Plenty of entertainment. You have, you know, many hotels. You have the beaches. You have very good restaurants. Lots of big chain restaurants. You have lots of one-off mom and pop restaurants, quality restaurants. You have an international airport, which is the Fort Myers Airport, International Airport. There's a lot of things. If you check, you know, just the area of Fort Myers in general, you'll see that's a very large, flourishing city. But as it pertains to Orlando, yeah, it's about 2.5 hours.
Yep, a lot of entertainment. The beach, water sports, snorkeling, boating, fishing, sailing, everything, all the water sports, high quality lifestyle. A lot of retirees live here. A lot of millennials are moving here. Yes, it's a very vibrant place, good quality of life. It's not very big, it's not very small either. So it's a mid-sized city area. So a lot of recreation, a lot of restaurants, a lot of everything, outdoor sports, warm weather all year round. What more can you ask for? Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? I think we can take one more, right? We're coming toward the top of the hour. Okay, so I think that's it. By the way, this presentation is being recorded, so we're gonna give me a few days. Early next week, I will send a webinar replay for the rest of my database. But suffice to say that Mike, I'm sure you agree, you have more investors that want to buy your product than there are available supply. So therefore, I challenge my investors to get your loan pre-approval first and foremost before you consult with me. And my primary loan agent is Richard Advani from Wells Fargo, who have done most of our investment loans for my network. And if you gonna wish to purchase from your self-directed IRA, contact me directly. I will walk you through. I will guide you through to get the paperwork done before you, in conjunction with picking the property. So we work with me initially. Then many of you are in this call. I already know you already purchased through my network, so you guys are pretty easy to pull the trigger. So then I will, and the rest of you I have never spoken to before. I do not know you. I would love to get to know you. I would love to create a relationship with you, and I've been more than happy to entertain a complimentary FaceTime or phone consultation so I could understand your goals, your motivation, your commitment. Then once I prepare you for it, then I will pass on you to Mike and his team once I feel that you guys are ready to buy, do all that. So because Mike is very very busy, right? And I do not want you to go directly to him first because he's very busy managing his great business. Mike, you have anything else to say before we sign out?
No, I'm just looking forward to doing some business with you guys and getting you guys some great quality products at an unbelievable price and get you some good quality tenants and get some cash flow up in your portfolios there.
Absolutely agreed. You have a great product. I love to move forward, and we could have a very good long-term relationship. And for investors that are going to buy your product, they're going to be a very very happy investor. So thank you for attending, everyone, and be safe out there, and just have a positive attitude. Things will get better, regardless of what's going on right now. So anyway, thank you for showing up, my members, and Mike. Thank you for taking your time to give a very thorough presentation. I mean, you have covered basically every areas of questions and concerns. So thank you for so much. Looking forward to working with you and your team. And Nika, thank you so much for running my webinar. And okay, so with that in mind, goodbye. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.